Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Notes from the Sewing Room. My name's Becky. Thanks for joining me today. Today's video is all about some of my favourite things that I made last year, so that's 2021. I've got 5 different things to share with you today, and I'm really looking forward to showing you some of my highlights from my sewing journey over the last 12 months. I just thought I'd jump on my channel today and share with you what I've been making over the last 12 months in terms of what I've really enjoyed making and what I've really enjoyed wearing. So I've got 5 different things to share with you today, so I shall get on with that in a second. For those of you who are interested, you can probably see my Labrador Bentley just in the background there. He's lounging in his favourite chair at the moment. And also, if you are interested in what I'm wearing today, because I know some of you sometimes ask me down in the comments below, I am wearing one of my favourite Grain Line Studio Linden jumpers today. So this is in a lovely sweatshirt fabric that I can't really remember where I bought it from. I think I got it from Crafty So. It's got a lovely bee design on there, if you can see that. So I like it because it's nice and bright, nice and colourful. And you probably know that I'm quite a big fan of pink, and it's got these lovely pink bees on there. So yeah, I really like this one. Anyway, let's get to it, and I'll tell you what some of my highlights were from last year in terms of my sewing journey. So this first one is honestly some of my favourite fabric that I've ever used. I think it's because I love the print of it, and I love cotton sateen. I think it's a beautiful fabric to sew with, and it looks lovely on as well, just so smart and kind of nice and crisp. So this is actually a dress. I'm going to put in, by the way, the details below of everything that I'm mentioning, and also I'll add in some footage of me wearing these different things that I'm going to be showing you. So this is a lovely dress here that I've made in this beautiful cotton sateen lemon fabric. So I think I bought the fabric from, I think it was probably Sew Over It when they had it in, but I know various shops have had this fabric in. I think there was a couple of different colourways, but I went for this lovely navy design. So this is actually something that I made as part of the Frugal Frocks challenge that was taking place over on Instagram last summertime. And I really enjoyed taking part in the challenge because it was all about being frugal and using some kind of free pattern. So I decided to use 2 different free patterns that I got in Love Sewing magazine here in the UK. So I've just got a little note here just to remind me. So one was the Butterick B6657. So I used that for these lovely sleeves. So it's lovely puff kind of sleeve. It's got a gathering at the top here, and then there's some gathering into the cuff there as well, which I think is really sweet. And then I used the thread count pattern, summer dress pattern, for the bodice and also the skirts. There's a lovely gathered skirt there. Obviously, I put in some footage of me wearing it so that you can see actually what the fit was like. I did have a bit of a nightmare really in terms of fitting this dress in the beginning, mainly because I think I just couldn't quite get the fit right. It ended up being too big. But then it was probably a couple of months actually after I'd initially made the dress, I thought, do you know what, I need to revisit that and make it a little bit smaller. So that's what I did, and I'm so pleased that I did that because it meant that I could wear it to go to the races with a friend of mine. We went to see a band called McFly that I really like, and yeah, I wore this dress to the races, and I just felt really nice in it, and it's just, you know, something lovely to go along to an event like that in something that you've made yourself. And I was also extra pleased, I suppose, because I'd managed to alter it and kind of fix it so that it was going to be something that I, you know, could wear and sort of feel nice in. I wore that with some cute little yellow pumps that I'd got, and yeah, just really liked it. So I would definitely recommend trying some lovely cotton sateen fabric like this if you're interested in doing something like that, and also trying out those patterns as well. Project number 2 that I wanted to share with you today is actually the Tilling the Buttons Lyra dress. So this is the version that I made. So I used this lovely, I think it was, excuse the dress by the way, it's a little bit creased. I've just got it out of my wardrobe and I didn't think to iron it, to be honest. So this is a lovely kind of rayon type fabric that I've used in this lovely floral kind of design. I think I bought this from Minerva. But I loved the Lyra dress as soon as I saw it, but I knew that it was a little bit loose fitting and I wanted to try and bring it in. So I decided to make myself a little belt to go with it, which you can probably see it's got that lovely little fastening on there. I bought the fastening from a local shop to me, but I think there are plenty of places online that sell belt buckles and things. But I absolutely love this dress. I wasn't sure how I would go with the sizing and everything, so I decided to size down quite a lot. I think I actually made this in a size 2 at the top and then graded out to a size 3 for the skirt area. I didn't add on any of the ruffles or anything like that you can add on to the bottom of the skirt. I went for a straightforward gathered skirt, but I'm actually really pleased with this. I wore it quite a lot over the summer, and I think, to be honest, if I wanted to wear it at the moment, I could probably team it up with some tights and a nice warm cardigan. I haven't been at the moment, but that's something that I could do. But I did wear this a lot over the summer period and really enjoyed wearing it. I wore it to quite a few sort of different occasions and things, as well as just wearing it out and about to the shops and kind of for general running around. I think the fit was generally quite good, apart from it was pulled slightly just across my front shoulders, which is not something that I'd experienced before, but it didn't put me off wearing it. And I'm not someone that would do a button up all the way to the top collar. I know a lot of people that I've seen wearing the dress on Instagram and whatnot have actually done up the dress right to the top collar there. But I decided to actually not put buttons all the way up to the top. I kind of started my buttons around about there, and that was more comfortable for me, and I just felt like I was never going to do those final buttons up, so what's the point in sewing them in? But yeah, I really love the Lyra dress, so if you haven't had a go at making it yet, that's another one that I would recommend and something that I really enjoyed putting together last year. Project number 3 that I wanted to share with you today is actually something that I upcycled. So I went to a shop in Newark here in the UK called the Vintage Vixen, and they have a range of different vintage clothes in there, and I decided to buy a lovely, well, it was actually for me it was an oversized dress. It was a dress that was too big for me, and it was in this beautiful fabric that's got these lovely daffodils on there. So I love the fabric and I wanted to do something with it, so I decided to cut the dress so it was kind of out flat in kind of flat pieces of fabric, and then I've kind of made it my own. And the reason that I did that was I wanted a vintage dress that I could wear to go to Goodwood Revival Festival, which I was going to last September. So I had a look through my pattern stash and decided what I could use to kind of upcycle this dress in terms of a pattern. And I found the My Handmade Wardrobes party dress pattern. So I actually used the bodice section of that to create the top of my dress, and then I used the original skirt from the original dress to actually just gather back into the bodice that I'd made. So I'm so pleased with this. I did have, again, a little bit of a fitting issue. I don't think it was to do with the pattern, it was really to do with the type of fabric that I'd got here and trying to just place the pattern pieces and everything. So I ended up kind of piecing together quite a few pieces of fabric to actually form the bodice, particularly in the back section, but it didn't really matter, and I don't think you can really tell now, to be honest. So this is the dress that I've made. So I kept quite a lot of the details of the original dress. There was some bias binding that still runs down the front here and across the side sections there. So I'm really pleased with that. I just thought that was a pretty detail to keep in there. But one of my favourite things about this dress is the lovely lowered back. So it's a lovely curved back. You can see that I've got this lovely lemon lining on the inside of the dress. So that came with the original dress, so I really wanted to keep that in there. Again, I'll put in some footage of me wearing this dress at Goodwood Festival, and I teamed it up with some beads and some little pumps as well. So yeah, I was so pleased with that, and I absolutely love an upcycled vintage type project to do, so I definitely want to try a few more of those in 2022 as well. Project number 4 that I wanted to share with you today is actually something that I have worn lots and lots and lots over the last year and continue to wear. It's one of my favourite dresses to wear, and this is the Olive Pinafore by Tilly and the Buttons. So this is actually included in the Make It Simple book. I actually recently had a go at making a green version, which I loved, and I've worn it a couple of times, but then unfortunately when it went into the wash, it shrunk, and in terms of the length, so it just made it far too short for me. But luckily I was going to alter it and add on some different fabric to try and fix it, but then one thing or another, I just thought, do you know what, I'd rather this just go to a really good home where someone's going to wear it and enjoy wearing it. So I've gifted it to another sewing friend who's taken it, and I'm sure she's going to enjoy wearing it. I know that it fits her really nice, so I'm really pleased about that. But I will have another go at making this dress another time. So this is, as I say, the Olive Pinafore by Tilly and the Buttons. and I love a lot of things about this dress. I love the fit of it. I love how you can wear it by itself, or you can wear it, you know, with a top underneath. This one has got a lining on the facing on the inside, but you can finish it with a bias binding instead. The second version that I made, I actually finished it with a bias binding instead, but both varieties work fine. I put some jeans buttons down the front here, but you could add on normal buttons, or you could add on snaps, you know, whatever you prefer. I'm not great at doing snaps, so I don't tend to add them onto things. I think I added about 2 inches to the length of this dress, mainly because I'm quite tall, but it's just such a lovely fitting project. I think I made it, I'm testing my memory now, but I think I made it in a size 3 at the top and then graded out to a 4 at the skirt area. My measurements are 20, no they're not, my measurements are 32, 28 and roughly sort of 40 for the hip, and I ended up taking quite a bit out of the side seams just to try and get a fit that I was happy with this dress. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed making this dress, and probably top tip for making that one is have a little search on YouTube for the tutorial that Tilly and the Buttons did for inserting the facing. I found that super helpful, and it was actually one of you here on my channel that told me about it. So yeah, thanks for that. It was actually really good to use, and I did originally get a little bit confused about adding in the facing myself, because I thought, yeah, I know what I'm doing, but ended up doing a lot of unpicking, and I could have saved myself quite a big headache if I just looked at the video in the beginning. But hey ho, it's just one of those things. But yeah, love that dress now, and I've worn it a lot, and like I say, I'm sure I'll continue to do so. The final project that I wanted to share with you today is actually something that I made right at the end of last year, and that is a set of pajamas. So I actually made a matching set for myself and for my little boy William as well. So I'm just going to share the ones that I made for myself, but I will again put in some footage of you know, the pajamas as well, so you can see them. But you know, I think pajamas are one of those things that you often start to make potentially when you're a beginner in terms of sewing. So I have made various sort of pajamas over the years, but I've never really got a fit that I really like. But these ones I do actually really like, and I've worn them quite a lot. They've been through the washing machine quite a few times now since I've worn them. I just love the fit of the trousers, the fit of the top. I like how the fabric feels on my skin. They're really comfortable to wear in bed, and to be honest, just for sitting around the house as well, watching TV and whatnot. So I use this lovely cotton jersey from Minerva Crafts that's got these foxes on there. It's kind of a winter print, I suppose, fox fabric. And then I used some ribbing around the top and also around the bottom of the leg, and then I've got a matching jumper as well here. So this is actually a pattern by Pattern at Paper Scissors, and it is the Perry pajamas. So it's actually a kind of family pack that they've got, so there's options in there for grown-ups and for children as well, which I like, because obviously you can keep going back to the kids ones or the grown-up ones and retracing different sizes and things. But yeah, I really just like the fit of these. I like how comfortable they are, and yeah, just generally a really good set of pajamas. So if you are looking for perhaps for next Christmas, or just because you fancy making a full family set of pajamas, I would definitely recommend checking out that pattern, because I've really enjoyed using it myself, and as I say, I do like the final kind of product now I've made it. So yeah, definitely a good one to have a go at. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I've got to show you in terms of my highlights of 2021 in terms of my sewing. I'd love to know what your highlights were, what you've made over the last year, what you've really enjoyed making and wearing, and if you've got any top tips for me in the year ahead as well. But thank you for being with me today. If you have enjoyed this video, I would love it if you could press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you to everyone, of course, who has subscribed and who does join me week after week. I do really enjoy having you here, and hopefully you enjoy my videos as well. But until next time, I'll leave it there and say see you soon. Bye.